Hello everyone, welcome. Here we share true stories from real people. Today we have a story, Am I the a-hole for abruptly cutting my ex-fiancé out of my life? Original post, I, male 25, met my now ex-fiancé in my first year of college. We were both 18 and went from friends to lovers pretty quickly. We clicked so well and everything was so easy and effortless. We had a really good relationship. It's the kind of relationship that everyone wishes that they were in. The kind of relationship that people idolize and said, if those two broke up, then love doesn't exist. You get the picture. For the purpose of this post, let's call my ex Ashley. Ashley was everything I was looking for in a woman. Funny, smart, attractive, down to earth, and family oriented. She wanted to build a life together. All families got close over the course of our relationship. It was as like we were already one big happy family before even getting married. As planned, I popped the question a year ago, not knowing that this would change everything. She said yes, of course, but things started to change. Slowly but surely over the months, she became more distanced. I tried to ignore it and chalk it up to nervousness. Cold feet before taking the big marriage plunge. I should have trusted my instincts. She always went out with her group of friends on the weekends. I've been on those outings before. Usually it's clubbing and drinking. It's not my thing, but I trusted my girl, so I had no problem with her going out without me. These outings became much more frequent after I popped the question. I tried to ignore my gut feeling that something was wrong about this. I should have listened. Last week, I got a text from one of her girlfriends. She said that she feels super guilty about what's been going on. According to her, Ashley has been worried about getting married. She feels that she hasn't had a chance to explore other options, and the prospect of getting locked down for life made her really anxious. On these outings, she will frequently flirt with other guys, dance with them, grind on them, make out with them to get it out of her system. Since she wasn't having sex with them, she didn't consider it cheating. According to the friend, she also gave one guy a BJ in the club bathroom. She sent me pictures and videos from some of these escapades. My heart sank. I felt like I died that day. I thanked the friend for telling me and told her to keep it between us. For me, any form of cheating is a big no-no. I knew it was over. What makes this worse is that I have a past with cheating. She knows about my high school ex who cheated on me, and being a stupid teenager, I tried to end it all. This just makes the whole situation cut even deeper. She knows how much hurt she would cause and still went ahead with it. I wanted to crawl into bed and cry for a month. I wanted to be weak. I felt weak. I decided that I would give myself the chance to mourn and cry over this after I protect myself. Me and my fiance share an apartment that we both pay rent for 50-50. I decided to take 2 days off work and covertly started to move my things out to my brother's house across the city. He knows about everything and immediately offered his place to me. The first day I moved non-essential items out. When Ashley got back from work, she made a comment about it, but I brushed it off, just saying that I sold some stuff and took some more stuff to a storage unit to tidy and clear the space up in our apartment. She didn't question it. I was furious on the inside for everything that I found out about what she was doing and kept cool to avoid suspicion. She noticed that I was a bit withdrawn, but I told her that I was just tired and stressed from work. The second day, while she was at work, my brother and his wife came over to help me pack everything else, and I was fully moved out by 3 p.m. that day. Since then, I've avoided every single form of communication sent by my ex. I have completely cut her off. I refuse to talk to her or her family. I don't even want to confront her about what happened. She came home that day and saw everything was gone. She texted all my friends and family, who in turn texted me, but I only responded to my parents, who were fully behind me and my decision. Her family and friends are blowing up my phone saying that I'm an a-hole for leaving without a word. They've even been blasting me on social media. I don't really care. She knows what she did. To me, she is dead. She doesn't even exist. Because of this backlash, my brother and his wife are now questioning if it was right of me to completely ignore everyone. This has caused me to doubt myself a bit, so here I am. Am I the a-hole? I don't think you're the a-hole at all. I think cheating is it's a no-no. Now for the updates. Update 1. After an overwhelming amount of people screaming at me in the comments to speak out, I decided to break my silence. I didn't want to make this whole thing public. Despite what she did, some part of me still cares for her. I was with her for 6 years. You just can't throw that away overnight. I came to the conclusion that the right thing to do was to talk to her parents. Only her family needed to know. Everyone else can have whatever opinion they want of me. I don't really care. The people who truly know me and are close to me are the ones who I care about. I sent a detailed message of what happened to my closest friends and family. All of them, of course, believed me right away. No pictures needed. I didn't feel like it was necessary or appropriate to spread those pictures of her, so I didn't. Now that the people that I cared about were sorted, I moved on to her parents. I messaged her mom, who, by the way, I've gotten so close to that I've considered her a second mom and she considered me a son. She was very upset with me, but agreed to meet up. I felt like this needed to be an in-person conversation rather than a nuke that I drop in an email with everyone that they know CC'd. I met her mom and dad at a diner we used to frequent for breakfast. I know, so cliche. It was quite emotional. They were understandably upset. They didn't do anything wrong, and I cut them out of my life like nothing happened. I understood why they were upset, so when they were confronting me, I was very quiet, just listening, letting them get it all out. I admit I was tearing up with them. That is until they accused me of some things. It's been a whole week since all this went down. In that week, a lot happened. Apparently, according to her parents, my ex convinced everyone that I cheated and that she kicked me out. I haven't been answering anyone because I was so ashamed of what I had done. LOL. I literally laughed out loud. I responded by saying that I'm very sorry and I wish them a happy life and walked out. I was so effing upset I couldn't even have imagined of being accused of this. What an effing joke. I can't believe her parents would believe her and throw me under the bus so fast. I walked out because I'm pretty sure that I would have said some things that I'd regret to her parents. I didn't want to do this, but she left me no choice. I activated the nuclear option. I went home and made an email titled, "For Your Reading Pleasure," and attached every picture her friend sent me, including screenshots of the chat with her friend where she expressed how guilty she felt about the cheating. I also attached the videos of her grinding and making out with other guys. I included a long explanation detailing everything that has happened since D-Day. I ended the email by saying that I do not wish to be contacted and that I expect my ring back at some point. I attached her parents, any friend that I could think of, and a coworker that I just so happened to know as well. F it. So that's where I'm at now. I may be the asshole for sending that email, but she really tested my effing limits when I found out what she was telling people. I have zero regrets. Currently crashing at my brother's place on the pull-out couch. He's helping me get through this as much as I can, I guess. Who knows what kind of fallout that email will create. Either way, I'm going to sit back and enjoy it with popcorn while sobbing. Final update. I wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone that reached out to me and offered kind words of support and advice. The reason it took me 2 months to be able to come back here and write an update is because so much has happened in such a short span of time that I'm even having trouble processing it. The fallout after I sent that nuke of an email was catastrophically hilarious. My phone was blowing up with my ex's friends and family asking me tons of questions. Before I had sent that email, everyone was under the impression that I was a cheater and was kicked out. That email not only cleared my name, it basically turned everyone against my ex. Rumors of what had happened started circulating at her job. I attached one of her coworkers to the email, if you remember from my last update. Apparently she couldn't take the embarrassment and ended up quitting. Her parents were less than impressed and refused to take her back in. They reached out to me and apologized for the way things turned out. They recognized that they didn't have all the facts and judged me way too quickly. I'm cool with them now. They told me that my ex was struggling to make payments for half of the rent. When I covertly moved out, I contacted her landlord and explained the situation. We only had 3 months left on the lease, so I paid my half of those 3 months, so I'm in the clear. Honestly, it was worth it, even though I'm not living there. Our mutual friends also didn't take too kindly to being lied to and basically being manipulated to hate me. From what I've heard, most of her shared friends don't talk to her anymore. Even some of her girlfriends who knew what had been happening behind my back even stopped talking to her, which is a little ironic if you ask me. I guess now that everything was public, no one wanted to be associated with her. And speaking of her friends, remember the one that initially came forward to me about this because she felt so bad? Yeah, so we're dating now. I guess through all the trauma, drama, and craziness, we started texting more and more. At first, she was just very supportive. She comforted me and helped me come to terms with what had happened. But slowly and surely, we became closer and closer and started to talk about our lives, our interests, our dreams. We realized that we had a lot in common. We were also both single and young. We kind of just fell right into it naturally. She's honestly so great, very kind and loving. I'm aware that some people may think that this is just a rebound, but I'm really enjoying my time with her and things are going great. I feel great. Since everything went down, I have had no contact with my ex. I've heard through multiple friends that she is livid that I ghosted her and won't even talk to her. She says what I'm doing to her is torture because I won't even give our relationship closure. I just laugh because if she thinks what I'm doing is torture, then she's clueless about what she put me through. I'm honestly good. I will go the rest of my life without ever talking to her again. Call me petty, call me dumb. I am who I am, and I feel that this is right. As for me, life is looking good. I'm dating an amazing girl. I've gotten so much support from my family and friends. It's nice to see who the real ones are, the ones that actually stuck with me throughout this whole ordeal, and best of all, I feel like I'm really moving on from this whole thing. Hope this update gives you all closure. So many of you messaged me needing an update. It just took me a sec to gather myself to be able to write this and in the midst of all this craziness. Take care of yourselves. Story 2, update. My 21 female boyfriend's 23 male relationship with his teddy bear is making me uncomfortable. Original post. Okay, now please, no joke, this is actually serious. Also, this is a throwaway account and I was an idiot when writing my name and typed throwaway instead of Throra. I have been with my boyfriend for 3 months now, so it's pretty new. So far everything is going well except this tiny little detail. He has this teddy bear. Let's call him Teddy. Teddy has always been a part of my boyfriend's life. He got him for his birth, and when at around the age of 5 or 6, or whatever age is the appropriate age, to remove a teddy bear from a child, his parents tried taking Teddy away from him. He screamed and cried so loud, without stopping, they ended up giving up, so he kept Teddy with him throughout his whole life. He mentioned Teddy to me pretty clearly about a week after us being together. He showed me pictures of him, and I found it cute at first. He had plenty of pictures of him in different situations. Him with a mug, him laying in bed with him, studying, etc. I truly found it adorable since I thought it was just a joke, really, and didn't think that Teddy was such a big part of his life. The more we got to know each other, the more he started mentioning him. He'd often make jokes about him. When he had to come back to his flat, he'd say, "I have to come back, Teddy is waiting for me." And then later he'd text me, "Okay, I put Teddy to bed, so now I might get to go to sleep as well. I don't want to wake him up." Again, a little weird, but cute still. But he really started talking about him constantly, always linking what we were doing to him. Oh, I wish Teddy was with us to see that. Teddy doesn't really like people, so I won't take him with me for this party, etc. He sent me selfies with him at least twice a week. He also sometimes said weird stuff like whenever we watched a sex scene in a movie, he'd say that that's what me and Teddy do when we're alone, or when I asked him when he lost his virginity, he answered, "Oh, I lost it with Teddy a few years ago." They were jokes that made me uncomfortable. He always seemed to consider him as his baby, his son, his brother, so him being sexualized was extremely weird for me. I told him then that it was weird and he just laughed, but I don't think he took me seriously. About a month ago, I told him I was okay with him bringing Teddy when he was staying around my flat. I could see it was making him sad to leave him, and also was very curious to finally see him in person. I can't go to my boyfriend's flat. There are rules that are strict. He can't invite anyone. So the day that I drove to his flat, he went with all his stuff and Teddy. When he got in the car, he pulled him out from his bag and had him give me a kiss on the cheek. When we drove, he opened the window and put Teddy out of the car, a bit like a dog would. He said it was rare for Teddy to travel like that, and he could feel that he was happy. Teddy smells a lot. My boyfriend hasn't washed him in 12 years. For the rest of the car drive, he hugged him and gave him kisses. He was weird, twitch where he was compulsively pats the back of Teddy. It makes a weird sound because Teddy used to be able to play music when you pressed his belly. He always rubs Teddy's clothes in between his fingers. You can guess that Teddy is in a pretty bad state. He used to be red and now he's just gray. When we're together in bed, he always puts Teddy's mouth on my mouth and I always avoid it as I find it disgusting. And I told him that I hate it, but he doesn't listen. He always tries to have Teddy touch my boobs or my ass. When we make love, I often end up finding him between us, and every time I throw him away, my boyfriend says, "Oh no, he likes to watch," in a joking way. He often mentions us having a threesome with Teddy, him, Teddy, being great at licking, and them always doing kinky stuff together. Now, I'm not an idiot. I know communication is important. I tried talking to him so many times, sometimes in a joking way too, so he doesn't feel attacked. Like once I asked him, who would he choose if he had to choose between me and Teddy? He said Teddy. But also so many times in a serious way. I told him I didn't like when he was rubbing Teddy on my face and body. I told him that I find this relationship with him way too intense and weird. But every time he didn't take it seriously, made jokes, and never truly told me what he thought. I should mention that he is like that for any serious conversation. All he does is make awkward jokes and he never tells me how he feels. He said I love you first because he was drunk. This is becoming hard to handle. I had been away from him for 2 weeks and was kind of relieved I wouldn't see Teddy anymore, but all he did was send pictures, and whenever I asked him, "What are you doing?" or "What did you do today?" his answer was, "Playing with Teddy." Today he told me I was perfect, which was a first, and I sure didn't expect that. He doesn't give a lot of compliments. When he said that, I said, "Really?" And his reply was, "Actually, no, Teddy is perfect. You come way after him." I just gave up and didn't reply. I had 3 questions. 1, am I overreacting? Am I the one not being tolerant enough? Am I some boring girlfriend who can't welcome some childishness in her couple? 2, what should I do? Should I let him live his life with Teddy? Should I ask him to make a real choice? Should I ask him just to stop with the sexual jokes? Like, who am I to ask such things? I don't know. Is it my place to tell him to stop being so weird with his teddy bear? And 3, how do I get him to finally talk to me and take me seriously? Update. I did not expect to get that many replies. I woke up to a crazy amount of messages, so thank you all so much. Now you all really scared me. As F, I need to see him today, so I will tell you how it went. I'm not sure what to do yet, but I'll definitely have a serious talk with him. I'll try. And then, depending on his answer, I'll either give him a chance or say goodbye. Now for the full update. First of all, I'd like to say thank you all. I did not expect to get that many comments. I'm safe for those who were worried. You all really scared me, though. I had many questions that were asked, so I'm quickly going to reply to the ones that I saw the most. Why are you with this guy? Are you insecure? Why are your standards so low, etc.? I obviously didn't write down his nicest description. Apart from this weird teddy bear fetish, he was a completely normal guy with friends, going to parties, studying, and so on. He is quite the popular guy, in fact. Even though I don't care about his kind of thing, he took me on dates and made me feel special. I really thought he was a keeper. At the beginning, with him being a little childish, didn't really bother me. I myself have stuffed pets, and even though they're in the cupboard, I used to love them as a kid. That's when he started sexualizing his bear and involving me in that I freaked out. The problem is, it's so hard to tell when he's joking or not. He constantly makes jokes. That's why I never could tell whether I was overreacting or not. Is he just joking, or does he mean what he says? However, the one thing that I really didn't see coming, and you guys helped me realize it, is his lack of respect towards me and my boundaries. Sometimes it's easier to see from an external point of view. The whole time I was too focused wondering whether it was normal or not for me to feel uncomfortable, and I didn't realize that not once did he help me feel more comfortable despite me telling him how I felt. Thanks a lot, because that's the one thing y'all really helped me for. I would have probably taken more time to realize it on my own, even though it now looks obvious. About the guy who said that he knew him, abortion lasagna. Fortunately, it wasn't him. Thank you so much for help, though. Run away, he's going to kill you, he's a psychopath, etc. Although his behavior is extremely weird, I don't see him hurting anyone. But obviously, it's easier for me to tell since y'all had to base your opinion on what I said. He doesn't match the psychopath personality at all. I'm not allowed to visit him because he lives in a private home. A person hosts him in one of their bedrooms, and this person doesn't allow any visits. It is weirdly strict, yes, but it's believable, and I've seen his sister who once confirmed that she couldn't visit him herself. One thing is sure though, although he may not hurt anyone, he seems to have serious problems, and I'm not sure how to handle it. It's fake. It looks like the movie Ted. I know it all looks surreal, but it is true. I have multiple pictures of Teddy if some of you are interested. I know a lot about Teddy's past because my boyfriend won't shut up about him. That's why I knew, and that I know that the movie Ted, but I've never seen it. And my boyfriend actually suggested that we could watch it like a month ago. Burn Teddy, make him disappear, etc. I agree with that one 100%. Haha, thank you. I did think about it a lot. I often hide him when he brings him to my flat so I know exactly where he is, and so my boyfriend doesn't think about him. He always ends up looking for him though, but it still gives me a break. What did you do in the end? I was meant to see him today, so I picked him up and we drove to my flat. Of course Teddy was there, and when he came in the car, my boyfriend had him give me kisses and stuff. I said stop because in a cold way, and he stopped. I said we needed to talk, and he listened because I started crying. I thought it would be hard for me to start talking, but since I was so stressed with all of your comments, I just broke down and cried. I told him how I needed him to stop with Teddy, that he needed to stop being so close and dependent on him, that Teddy shouldn't come to my flat anymore. At first, he was silent, but then he said he didn't understand why I was so uncomfortable with it, that he was purely joking, that he knew Teddy wasn't real, and that it was hurting him to see that I thought he had a problem. I was extremely disappointed of his reaction and just told him I needed a break. I drove him back to his flat, and that's where I'm at now. Edit. Everyone is saying the post is deleted, and I have no idea why. It wasn't deleted before. The original post is available in the comments. It's quite easy to find. Thank you to all of you for your support. I realized there was a confusion. No, I'm not in his flat. I'm home and safe. Tonight I'll sleep at a friend's so she and I can talk about it, and I'll never go back with him. He sent me terrible messages all night, which convinced me to never get back with him. Thank you again for helping me, and have a nice day. I'll send a picture of Teddy for those who want one in a bit, but I have to get ready for school first. Don't worry, the face of my boyfriend will not be shown. That's all for today. If you're enjoying this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you.